Hello everyone, welcome back to Farming Sim 22. We got chickens, we got bales. You can see way off in the distance we got bales. So today is going to be bales. So we got to unfold this bad boy. At some point we'll start driving. We want to turn on automatic drop so we don't have to think about it. We're going to get rid of those tooltips. And then we just do this for a long time. One thing we could do if we want to try to multitask a little bit, this won't be super useful, but it'll keep us busy. As you'll see, like, they wrap, they take a while, so we can always just go back and forth like this. This should be operating. And we're not picking up our silage because we don't need to pick up our silage. Those take a day to ferment anyway, so we can just leave them on the ground. We can start picking up these hay bales. And that way we're kind of doing... I mean, this is legitimately how multitasking works, like in our brains. That's why they say humans can't like multitask, is because you can't. Like, what you're doing is you're swapping quickly between two tasks. Also, I think people like, I don't know where this, wow, this lecture is coming from nowhere. Well, I guess it's coming from this game. People like don't understand the definition of a task, which is something you cannot sort of do mindlessly, or like it's something you have to actually use brain power for. So like, yeah, chewing gum and walking bubble gum. Chewing gum and walking, like those aren't tasks because you don't have to actually like think about them. But like studying and like watching a TV show for comprehension would be tasks, but just having TV on is not a task, right? Anyway, it's also how like computers work, I guess. Like if you do JavaScript, that is like a single-threaded language, so it's just switching between tasks very quickly, and then returning to them in very specific rules and orders. So yeah, we're sort of like showing that process here. Like we can wrap our silage and pick up our hay at the same time. Sort of. Yeah, it just takes so long to wrap. Like, it's one of those times I wish... Not wish, that's a strong word. It's one of those times I would love like an RPG element to Farming Sim, where like you could level up your silage bale wrapping. And like the higher level you were, like the faster it wrapped. There's probably a mod for that. Oh, I didn't pick it up. Come on. What a waste. What a waste of time. We have a lot of grass. What should we do with all the hay? We're gonna have 12. No, 13. So we're gonna have like one extra. So I think this holds... Okay, this holds 14 then. I never can remember. So this holds 14. We have 13. I just want to check we didn't miss one. Let me make sure that we can wrap that bale. That grass should be the same size. So I'm gonna make sure this one gets dropped off in our grass field. We'll go pick this one up and get it back to our grass field. Because we need to start preparing this field, whoa boy, for the next season, which we're going to be planting. So we might as well do barley. because we already have barley in here. It's just kind of nice to keep it all the same, unless we're needing, like, I don't see why we'd want to diversify, I guess, if we're just using it for chicken feed. So we basically have 2 months to get this field ready, which will involve like cultivating. Gosh, it's been so long I've like forgotten. Cultivating, fertilizing. That's really it. I'm not going to mulch or roll. And we don't need a lime. So we can weed, actually. I think we can weed before we plant, right? I always forget. What should we do with our hay? So we could sell it all. We have, what, 7,000 per bale. You make hardly any money at all. So this is straw, not hay, straw. We'd make $100. We'd make $700 like per bale. So it's really just a big waste. So we're just gonna save it, and then next time we harvest, we don't have to worry about it. We won't deal with it at all. So where do we want to put it? We can probably for now just put it like behind our house. We don't really go over there. And then if we ever need it, we can just come like pick it up. So let's put it back. Let's tuck it in back here. This would be this. We're basically just like keeping this on hand. So when we do want unload bales here. So now we have this nice little, and then we want to lower. Keep doing this. So now we can start picking up these silage bales. Yeah, so now we have like quite a bit of straw. It would take a while to go through this because you don't need a lot for the beds, like the bedding, and you don't need a lot for the total mixed ration for the cows. So that stack is going to do just fine. And we might actually get one extra straw bale when we empty that baler, so we might be able to actually complete it at some point so we don't have a random missing one, but it's not really too worth worrying about. Okay, so we'll just start picking these up since we have the time. Actually, what would be better is to start cultivating that field. So let's start driving to the store. And again, we'll keep swapping. I only have a few more of these anyway. I think we'll still probably lease our cultivator. Oh, it is like jumpy. I thought there must be something on like the recording end because, like I said, I have my 3080 now. I have a 5600X, like Ryzen processor, 64 RAM. I mean, it's like the computer should be pretty good. I did a benchmark and it was very good, which is nice. So when I see stutters, it's like, is that a game thing? Maybe I missed a setting. I don't know. Something to look into. So I like to use not shallow cultivators. If you use a shallow cultivator like this, or a like I think a disc harrow does the same thing, shallow cultivation, then your weeds are going to come back sooner. So you really want, or I should say, all these are shallow. So our biggest non-shallow is this one, and that is 8 meters if we extend it. Man. It's too bad like the big ones are shallow. But I guess if we weed, we can either weed right away or just make sure we get a hoe, which would be this, 9 meters. And then that'll get that second stage. So then if we get a shallow, it's not that big a deal. Where are we? Cultivators. For now, we're not buying one, so it's probably not a big deal just to lease this. So 2,400 if we get the bigger one. Another 1,000, so yeah, we'll definitely do that extra 3 meters or whatever, 2.5 meters. We'll go ahead and get this cultivator started before we go back to baling. I can't remember if we've paid off all our debt or if that includes debt. And we are still debt-free, which is awesome. Yeah, so this is pretty narrow for a cultivator. So yeah, I think when we buy one, we'll buy like a shallow one that can do 12 to 15, just because it's worth, I think, having that like length. But let's go ahead and do one of these rows again, since we can't remove those trees. Oh, and I still didn't get the mod. I need to get that GPS mod. It'd be really nice to have for planting, just so we can test it out. And then we're going to start on the other end, because we don't want, sometimes weird things happen when fields are close together, where, like, let's say we cultivate from this side to this side, and all of a sudden we get to the last stretch, and the worker's like right on the edge, like this, and it's cultivating. Sometimes it'll do a weird thing where it like reads the field to our left as like the same field. So it'll turn around and start trying to cultivate it. Well, if we cultivate this field, all of a sudden our grass is gone, and that would be obnoxious. Not a huge deal, but like we'd have to reseed and fertilize and all that. So we will start from this way, and then if things get messed up over there, it's not a big deal at all. Okay. So it says weeds growing. And I can't remember if we weed it now, do we have to weed it again when we plant? And I think the answer is yes. Like, I'm pretty sure I've tested that. So yeah, weeds will grow, but once we plant, the planter will like get rid of them again, if I remember correctly. And maybe this is all patched and I'm wrong, and that's fine. If there's weeds, like, okay, it'll mess up our yield a bit. It won't be a big deal. But I'm pretty sure we can let weeds grow. They'll go away again when we plant, and then we can weed right after we plant. It sounds wrong, but like, I'm fairly sure I remember that being the kind of the workflow there. Okay. That is our silage. So let's go ahead and let this one finish. What am I doing? Not Q, I want to hit X. We'll put this away and finish picking these up. Oh boy. Yeah, so some frustration. So yeah, I got my new graphics card, so I am giving my old one to my brother-in-law because it'll still be an upgrade. Right now he's using like integrated graphics from a pretty old computer. So, and I also had my old motherboard with my old processor, which is still, when I say old, it's like 4 years. So still pretty good. Still had my old RAM and an M2 drive. So like, I'm just like, you can have all this. I'm too lazy to try to sell it. It's not going to be worth that much, I guess. You know, like by the time you go through all that hassle, it's like, take it or... Anyway, I'm like, this will be good. Like, this will be a good upgrade for you. Let's do this. So he just needed to buy a case and a power supply, because those are the two things I did not have, or he had. So we got it all together. Everything went well. Except now, there's no... When we turn it on, there's no signal to the monitor. And that's frustrating. So I took it, I was over there for a while trying to troubleshoot it. I just brought it home finally. I'll do it on my own time, but like, it's just, I love building computers. I've done it many times, but man, when things don't work, it is so frustrating. It's just frustrating because then you have to troubleshoot all the things. So I'm going to first just try it on my monitor. That is very unlikely it's a monitor issue, but I'm like, well, it's easy, right? Easy to just plug it into mine and see what happens. Then I guess the next step would be putting the old graphics card back in my computer. I mean, I just switched it out like a week ago, so it's very unlikely it's the graphics card. But yeah, make sure that still works. And then if that works, then I'd have to put my 3080 into that one, which luckily the power supply is big enough. And then if it doesn't work, then it's some... I don't know, like everything lights up, all the fans turn on, the lights turn on. Like power's there, things are connected correctly. Just no signal. So kind of weird. I don't know if that could be a CPU. I don't know what would happen if there's like a CPU issue, but it shouldn't be a CPU issue because I don't know, but something I get to troubleshoot today and hopefully get it working, because I'll feel bad if I made him buy a power supply in a case and we can't get it working. Okay, at this point we have this. So some people are saying that we can actually sell at the biogas, and that you just have to like set it down at the corner. I don't know. I believe you. I definitely believe all of you that you can do that. I'm just not going to, because I'm going to set it down at the wrong corner. And then it's going to take 30 minutes to clean up. But yeah, they said you don't have to actually like put it in the hoppers. You can just put it like next to them. I'm not risking it. I'll just drive to the animals. So this is not silage yet, so we don't actually want to sell it. I think if we drive it into the like sales box. Oops, sorry, that was not Gertie, that was just my forearm hitting the microphone, my apologies. I think if we drive this into the sale box, it will, oh, we need to still, oh my gosh, I totally forgot we haven't even done collectibles. Anyway, I think it'll like sell it as grass, which would be a huge problem. So we're just gonna get this over to the animal dealer, and then tomorrow in July, we will, I want to check on we will sell it once we make sure it's silage. Okay, those icons don't help. I don't want the map at all. It should be like right here, I'm pretty sure. It's not too far of a drive, it's fine. Alright. So we'll get this ready. And we can shut that off. And so this has to finish. And then we'll actually buy a fertilizer. Because we'll want to use it twice. So it's kind of up to us if we want solid or... What we'll probably want is solid. Because the nice thing is if we buy a solid fertilizer spreader, then we also have ability to lime, which we'll have to do every 3 harvests, I believe. So we might as well just buy one. Well, I'll take out a loan, because we'll use it twice just to fertilize this field. I'm not going to do it now because I'll forget that I bought it, and then I'll buy a second one. So we'll probably just buy that. This one is the same spread, it just holds more, you can see. It's not a huge deal, it's not worth $30,000, so we'll get the big extension, or maybe it's the same, 14 grand. 1895, so 5,000, it's not. We definitely want the spreader discs, that'll give us 6 meters more width. So we'll end up spending about 55 plus 5 or whatever on fertilizer. So we'll take out a loan, that'll be fine though, because we probably won't need to, because once we sell this, we'll have the money. So, all right. I think what I'll do is just let this finish off camera, and get the cultivation done. And then next time we can take it back, or we can return it, get the fertilizer, all that good stuff, and keep getting this field ready to go. Take a slumber, sell some silage, make some money, and that will, and we'll keep checking on our chickens. They have made 0 eggs. Oh yeah, we bought the youngins, didn't we? So it'll be a while, but once winter hits, we'll like fly through their age. So all right, that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, bell, comment. What else can you do on YouTube? I don't know, whatever you wish. And of course, have yourselves a very nice day.